Boo 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 joo boo. Joo boo. Joo boo joo boo joo boo. Joo boo. Joo boo joo boo joo boo. Boo boo. Welcome to the Shakaama Live Show with your host, Shakaama. And Adubish. How you doing, Adubish? How you doing? Alright. And there you go. Alright, sit. Sit. Sit down. Sit down. If you're happy and you know it, wag your tail. Oh, you can't clap anymore in the UK. That's it. That triggers people with PTSD-like symptoms. Okay. All right. You get come over here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Sit. Sit down. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. So you're supposed to do jazz hands. So you're supposed to do this. Good boy. Watch out, good boy. Oh, there you go, buddy. Oh, I'll feed you after this. How about that? How about that? I'm gonna go buy you some special pedigree or super premium dog food. Guess who's a star? So Anubis apparently is a movie star, or he's got his own brand. He's got his own brand. Okay, all right. Jojo Bojo. Jojo. All right. So the FBI concluded their investigation of Judge Kavanaugh and Dr. Ford and found zero evidence. Zero to corroborate anything that she said, and they went so far as to conclude that it was a complete hoax. They concluded that Dr. Ford's allegations against Judge Kavanaugh was a complete hoax. Now, the media is now, this is all media promoted. Nobody, and I mean nobody, and Kelly, what's her name? She was on Fox and now on NBC. Sent out a reporter to go investigate if Main Street America is actually interested in the Kavanaugh case. And they said it comes up and like the in the list of 1 to 10, it comes up in number 20 spot of stuff that people are concerned with. Please tell me why I hiccup from time to time. I have to go take vitamins, a whole bunch of vitamins and stuff to make it stop. I don't know what it is. Supposedly there's a legend that a king was cursed by a woman to always have the hiccups. And so he had the hiccups non-stop for 30 years. So I'm guessing that they weren't constant like like you and I would have now. They were like maybe once every minute or so. So I guess when he had to sleep, he would sleep in between the hiccups, and of course then he came to his end after the 30 years. He never got rid of the hiccups. And the hiccups did him in, right? Okay, I mean, 30 years for some people is a lifetime, but hey. And just to clear up something, the whole life expectancy that people only live to age 20 or something back in those days, that's not what it meant. That meant that they took the average of the people who lived back then, and then you had people who were 60 years old, and then people who met their end in childhood. And so, because the population looks like a pyramid, the children met their end en masse. So, once you got past that whole child stage, it was pretty smooth sailings from there on. I mean, unless you were on the carrying a sword and shield, you could end up a 80-year-old guy back in those days. It's the whole childhood part and the United States did away with most of the issues with childhood, right? So this is why America was great, and it was America that did that. No other country did that. But we're not allowed to toot our own horn and say, hey, planet, we made it possible for children to stay alive. Back to Dr. Ford, back to FBI. So now the media, once again, of course, is playing spin. They got to spin it. And so they got to come up with something else. So now they're saying he was angry. How dare he be angry? You can't be a judge and be angry. Oh, you can't? You can't be a judge and be angry? Says who? How many judges have they sat and listened to? Judges get angry at people all the time. And don't say you're not qualified to be a Supreme Court justice if you get angry at somebody falsely accusing you of a heinous crime. A heinous crime. A despicable crime. Calling into question your reputation to such a degree that it would ruin the entire reputation just by uttering one sentence. That you spent 30 years building. 30 years that you've been a Boy Scout all your life. And this, oh, he drank beer. Well, of course he drank beer. That's what people do. There's this whole huge company that makes billions of dollars. Oh, I'm sorry. There's 3 companies that make billions of dollars each. I'm sorry. There's countless of companies around the world that make billions of dollars each from selling people beer. Stop pretending that the world is some sort of Puritan thing, because the Puritans, I'll have you know, drank just as much as everybody else. You don't want to research that? You don't want to research that? The Puritans, they drank too. Oh, I know that they say they don't, the lips that touch wine won't touch mine. Yeah, I know that they say that sort of stuff, but vegans say that they don't eat meat. Vegans say that they don't eat eggs. Vegans say that they don't consume honey. They did a study to research if being vegan or vegetarian promoted or extended life expectancy. You know what they found? First, they found that there was no vegan that was a strict vegan. There was no vegetarian that was a strict vegetarian. And they looked at thousands of people, and they concluded, after they did their study of the people that claimed to be vegan, of the people that claimed to be vegetarian, that it did not extend life expectancy, not even an iota. And in one of the categories, they passed away and have a shorter life expectancy than the meat eaters. There you go. Look it up on Google. No, here on YouTube. Look it up here on YouTube. They give a whole speech about it. And then if you find one speech, they'll quote the study, and then you'll find the study on YouTube talking about it. So, first of all, I think it's kind of funny that they could not find strict vegans and strict vegetarians. I know you think I make stuff up. I don't make stuff up because I don't care. I don't care if you're vegan. I don't care if you're vegetarian. I don't care. And if you're the one vegan that is a strict vegan, or if you're the one vegetarian that is a strict vegetarian, I've had plenty. Literally, people are passing around a tweet from a girl that says, I'm a vegetarian and I eat meat. We exist. She's being serious, But it was in response to, I believe, saying like, I'm black and I have millions of dollars, we exist. Trying to say that the whole notion that there's some sort of victimhood and the person coming out and saying, I'm not a victim, we exist. We're invisible, we're made invisible by certain people. I'm not trying to get into an argument with anybody, but I'm telling you, this study was huge, and they literally could not find people who were strict. And I'm talking about year in, year out. They kept falling off the wagon if being vegan is the wagon. Or they kept falling off the wagon if being vegetarian was the wagon. Now, you may try and judge them and say, oh, well, I do it all the time. How long have you been a vegetarian? How long have you been a vegan? 2 years? Okay. Give it 20 years. I'm sorry. Give it 5 years. But let's not even beat around the bush. Give it 5 years. Can you be vegan for 5 years, strictly vegan? I'm not even going to talk about the health, the cons against being vegan and vegetarian. I'm not even going to get into that because I don't want to get into it. Anyway, so FBI, Dr. Ford, they concluded it was a hoax. And the media is now going around trying to pretend like judges don't get angry. Judges get angry a lot. In fact, in law school, I read case after case after case after case of Supreme Court justice getting angry at the people trying to present frou-frou in their court. Get out of my court! You will not turn this court into a circus. We don't leave our logic at the door. We bring it in. You gotta have some facts. Get out of my court. Judges yelling at federal prosecutors, at federal defense attorneys, saying the Constitution doesn't abide foolishness. And some of our best quotes are judges getting angry and just owning people. It makes no sense to it's something about the law, being a lawyer. It's not for the general public. But one of the quotes is, a lawyer worth his salt will tell his client to shut up. What does that mean? Don't talk. You have a Fifth Amendment for a reason. Don't talk. You have a right to be silent. Have you heard that saying? You have a right to be silent. And you have a right to be silent. And what is silence? Silence is license and registration. There you go. And by law, that's all I have to do. Do you know how fast you were going? I clocked you at 70 miles per hour in a school zone on 2 p.m. on Wednesday. You're going straight to jail. Why? Because the police can lie. Why? Because the police can lie. The state can lie. The state can completely tell you that you don't have a right to be silent. The state can tell you. And this whole Hawaii 5-0, I must read your Miranda rights. First of all, it's not Miranda rights. It's a Miranda warning based on the Miranda case. It is no longer the law. The police doesn't have to read the Miranda warning. They don't have to at all. In fact, they said in furtherance of you knowing your rights, you're supposed to know your rights. You're supposed to already know what your constitutional rights are. You are supposed to. Ignorance of the law is not an excuse. Ignorance of your rights is not an excuse either. He made me confess. Nope, she voluntarily confessed. After I lied to her, but she voluntarily confessed. But they're not going to say after I lied to her. After I lied to him, he confessed. But the point is, judges do get angry. That is the temperament of judges. The media tries to portray this image of people who are supposed to be holy and pure. What's crazy is the guy who is holy and pure, they're trying to string up. Kavanaugh has been a Boy Scout. A Boy Scout. His entire life. CNN brought a guy on who was his classmate his freshman year in college at Yale. And the guy said, he did drink. Yeah, he drank. But so did I. He was belligerent, but only in the way he talked. He didn't like any. He never touched anybody. Never. Even in his drunkest of his drunkenness, he never touched anybody. And he would sing, and then go to bed, and that was it. Boy Scout. And he never touched a woman. Never. Never. Ever. So it's ridiculous that the one thing that that they could accuse him of is something that thousands of people can refute. He did this to me. Well, he hasn't done that in thousands of cases. And it's impossible for a human to have a certain behavior and never repeat it ever for 30 years, not once. Oh, and that's right. Nobody saw him do that to you. And you claim that there was 2 people in the room with you. The FBI concluded that it was a hoax. The media is now trying to get on board to now, again, smear his reputation. The Boy Scout. The people pretending that they're Boy Scouts and that everybody should be Boy Scouts are trying to prosecute the Boy Scout. Remember, I don't care. All of this stuff, I don't care, but I can't abide injustice. The media is lying on a man. The media is lying on a man's reputation. I cannot stand that. And they get away with it because you people watch it, you people accept it. It's unacceptable. They're being hysterical is what's going on. Anyway, they call for FBI, and apparently they're going to have a vote on Saturday. So, then that'll be it, right? That'll be it. This whole temperament, he doesn't have the temperament to be he has the exact temperament to be a judge. To not stand for injustice, to not tolerate injustice. That's the judge you want. That means when the state brings up a case and the judge smells that there's some injustice going on, he's going to defend you more than your lawyer. That's the person that you want in the court. Please like the video. Thank you all for watching, and say hello to Anubis. Anubis, right? Right? Why are you so sleepy?